Well, good evening. This is Hound Dog Steve coming to you on the 5th of August, and it is a very, very steamy long weekend up here in Canada. But I want to give you a bit of an update about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and some of the other cryptocurrencies that I am following out there in crypto world. Let me first and foremost say that this is not investment information. I am just sharing things that I picked up on the internet and that I think are pertinent. And the other thing I'd like to point out right here is that Cliff High was absolutely right. As I said on many occasions, it's usually the time scale that is the issue with Cliff's work and the WebBot. It certainly is picking up accurate stuff, and of course, as you can imagine, it's not that easy to interpret. But I have absolute high praise for Cliff and the integrity of his work, and thank goodness it turned out to be something that was solvable with his intestines. He's just recovering from an operation right now. I've just seen him in several interviews, and again, he is talking about very much what I'm saying right here, is that when you get into space-time and the universe and psychic leakage coming out of humans, which is basically what the WebBot is picking up on the internet, and you have to watch one of actually his interviews to find out what psychic leakage is. So you're stepping into a world where time and space are elastic, and so it's very hard to pinpoint timescales. And I've noticed this with psychics too. Some of the psychics can be very accurate but just off in time, and I think it's because well, Einstein said that in this reality we live in 3 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time. When you flip into the alternate reality, you go into 3 dimensions of time and 1 dimension of space. So in other words, you become a filament, and you are living in the past, present and future all at the same time. And so this is where the messages bleed through from, is from that other universe. And so when you're dealing in 3 dimensions of time, it's pretty hard to pinpoint stuff because it's just one big continuous picture to you, all taking place at the same time. Now, I don't pretend to understand how that works, but it seems to work for Cliff and the WebBot. Anyway, I would call this it's not a WebBot hit, but it's just in line with Cliff's predictions that cryptocurrencies were going to languish, we're going to bounce around into smaller and smaller ups and downs, and then suddenly take off. And that's what we're waiting for right now, is the sudden takeoff. So thank you, Cliff High and the WebBot project. Where would we be without brilliant people like you in the world, Cliff? Thank you so much. And to reassure some of you who may be concerned about where Bitcoin is going, it's certainly been a roller coaster, although the ups and downs have not been as graphic as they have been in the past. We're sort of ranging between $6,900 and $8,200 for Bitcoin. But one of the things I wanted to talk to you this evening about is the incredible partnerships that you are starting to see between these currencies and banking systems and independent corporations. And this story here is, buy your Starbucks with Bitcoin. And here it is, new Starbucks partnership with Microsoft. Look at that. Microsoft allows customers to pay for frappuccinos with Bitcoin. Starbucks is jumping on the cryptocurrency bandwagon. The Seattle-based coffee giant is working with Microsoft and a leading global exchange on a new digital platform that will allow consumers to use Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies at Starbucks. It says it's hard to buy coffee with Bitcoin, but Starbucks may be poised to make that easier. The beverage retailer is teaming up with one of the world's biggest exchange operators, Intercontinental Exchange Inc., which just created a venture called Bakkt, designed to more tightly integrate digital currencies into global commerce. Despite Bitcoin's astronomical surge last year, it is still not widely used to buy and sell actual goods in most countries. Okay, so this is an incredible endorsement. And you have to remember as well that the central banking system and the governments are really scared of these cryptocurrencies and blockchain-based data storage and transfer, because it really does them out of a job. It does away with really quite a lot of security, quite a lot of data processors, this kind of stuff, the loss of control over its people, because you can now make payments in the cloud or by other means, not through the regular banking system. And of course this is quite a concern, because the government does like to have a monopoly on this kind of situation, as does the central banking system. And you have to remember that in the fiat-based currency system that we are in right now, which uses fractional reserve, you have to remember that fractional reserve is in and of itself a fraud. Because if you can create $9 more from each one that you have in your possession and lend those out at interest, you have committed a fraud, plain and simple. And I can assure you that if you want to try that at home, photocopy $9 bills, and this is joking, okay, I'm just joking, but try handing them out. Try taking them to the store and see if you can use them as a means of exchange, and you will be charged with fraud, okay, and counterfeiting. And that is a very serious charge, and Bitcoin and the blockchain especially, would not allow that kind of thing to happen, because as soon as the bank creates even $1 out of the $1 on deposit, the blockchain just says no, that's a fraud, that's 2 for 1, can't have that, not going through, see you later, have a nice day. So you can imagine that the jig is up for these people, and they are racking their brains. They're trying to manipulate the situation. So you're not going to hear any good news from the central banks and the government. You're going to see bad press coming out that it's unregulated, it's scary, that people should be careful of scams. And of course, we had a scam just recently where people were called and they were told it was the tax department calling, and they owed a certain amount of money, and they had to make their payments in Bitcoin. And of course Bitcoin was associated with the villain. Oh yes, only criminals use Bitcoin. Well, no they don't. Starbucks is about to use Bitcoin, and these other stories that I'm about to show you are major institutions supporting the idea of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and the blockchain. And these corporations, I can assure you, do not buy in for the short term. They have tested and retested these systems, and they can see that they are in for the long haul. And I think one of the things that should reassure you, as not maybe as an investor but as an adopter, although these early days with these 3 coins, you're going to become a bit of a speculator, because they are going to increase in value because there's a finite number of them. And as people realize that more and more corporations are going to turn over to using Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin as a form of transaction, or Litecoin Cash or Bitcoin Cash, they are going to be scrambling to get these coins. And trust me, what you're paying now for 1 Bitcoin, you'll be paying for a fraction of a Bitcoin in the future. So the situation going forward, as far as I can see, and this is what's making me more reassured about the whole situation, is the fact that we have 2 possible scenarios going forward in this particular situation. Okay, either we have a flash from the sun, someone sets off an EMP in our lower atmosphere, and all our electronics go down, and it's over, we're going back to banging rocks together, and in which case none of this will be relevant to your present position. Or, as I suspect, moving forward, we're somehow going to cobble this together, we're going to come up with patches and fixes, and somehow in a miraculous way it will all bump along the bottom until it coagulates around cryptocurrencies, because computer systems, the internet, it's not going away. And if you are not getting on that train right now, trust me, it is pulling out of the station, and you really need to be up to date with at least sending emails, being able to manipulate open files, close files, create folders, store things, be able to navigate a little bit around the internet, because it's not going away, folks. Anyway, listen, let's take a look at these stories, and then we'll finish up and we'll talk soon, because I have another video to do. Okay, here we go. Okay, so here we go. Crypto Coin Spy. Litecoin announces strategic partnership with TokenPay to buy German bank. We plan to work on many exciting consumer-driven crypto solutions. Stay tuned. Litecoin founder Charlie Lee has just announced that Litecoin Foundation and crypto payment platform TokenPay have entered into a strategic partnership. As a first step, they will be buying a stake in the German bank WEG Bank AG, and then will start to work on many exciting consumer-driven crypto solutions. And what do we have here? Oh, CoinDesk. More banks sign up for ING's Ethereum oil trading platform. Now, ING Bank, this is a Dutch bank, is winding down work on more than 20 blockchain applications, and that's a good thing according to one of the bank's directors of innovation. That's because what remains from a host of small experiments aimed at creating models and understanding blockchain interoperability and developing a wide variety of technical skills are 5 applications currently being developed into pilots for real-world applications. Whilst multiple pilots are still being developed behind closed doors, 2 have already been revealed. One is a soon-to-be-launched platform for trading natural gas. The other is an oil trading pilot built on Ethereum that has already conducted live transactions. Okay, a bank like ING does not invest in something like this without having done, well, they just said they've been running, developing into real-world applications. So they've been testing everything extensively. This should give you the confidence in blockchain, in Ethereum as a solid, recognizable platform that is demonstrably workable in many applications. And the same with Litecoin. And here, if we just go to the cryptocurrency markets, again, if you look at these charts, the similarity in the bumps, the dips, there might be some slight variation, but you can see these 3 are all roughly going up at the same time. And this is a sign of manipulation. I think it is getting less, because as you scroll down, the patterns are not quite as similar. Although here again, this will be a sign to me of manipulation. Look at these 4 charts; they're absolutely identical in their rises and falls. And so, when you're getting into cryptocurrencies, when you are gambling, it is gambling. Okay, these currencies are going to go up, or these coins are going to go up and down wildly. Some of them are not even in operation. Some are still under test as we speak. They're raising money through their being listed on a Coinbase exchange. Okay, so do be wary. But you can see that the top 3, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, and Starbucks, and I'm hearing rumors that Amazon is talking to one of these coins for use as exchange. Could be Litecoin. I'm hearing Litecoin Cash is partnering up with some medical company. So this is good news for Litecoin Cash. So this is not going away, folks. Please do not be worried. If you have Litecoin, Bitcoin, or Ethereum, please hold on. And if you have, if you want to invest in some of the other coins, please do be aware that you are on your own. You are making your own decisions based on your own research. Okay, I hope you liked that, and I hope that it did reassure you that at least in these 3 coins that there is some validity, some worth, and some support now as to the actual value and I don't mean value as in dollar value, but intrinsic value within our society, within the system, to correct the imbalances of the fiat system and the fractional reserve system that always leave a certain group of people without money. You know, we're talking about universal basic incomes and this kind of stuff. None of this stuff, minimum wage increases, none of this stuff will work until you rein in inflation. And the only way you're going to rein in inflation is to slow down the fractional reserve system. That's what the gold standard was for. It was to rein in the printing of money to the amount of gold that you had in your possession, and that stopped the galloping inflation that we're seeing today. And so until we tame inflation, and ironically enough we could do that in Canada with the Canadian Bank of Canada, but the Bank of Canada is the only public central bank in existence today. And Bill Morneau holds all the shares, 100% of them, and he could go in there tomorrow, take over the Bank of Canada, and get the Bank of Canada to print that money and lend it to the government at 0% interest to be invested in infrastructure projects, to put people back to work and to spruce up our country, our provinces. Our infrastructure is in terrible shape. And you wonder why there isn't money to go elsewhere into other projects. But inflation is sucking the lifeblood out of this country, and that is our mortal enemy. We need to deal with inflation, and trust me, the blockchain will deal with inflation quite thoroughly. Okay, so I hope you liked this video. I hope you found it informative. If you did, like and subscribe below, and we'll talk to you real soon. Okay, this is the Hound Dog signing off. See you now. Bye-bye.